Hello again. Today we are back to talk to you about the latest hot topics concerning Bitcoin. Last time we talked about if the latest downfall for Bitcoin was a real reason for concern and ended up thinking it probably isn't. Just to pick up where we left off, it seems like we were right. A lot of Bitcoin's big voices in the Twitterverse have changed their tune lately, and many are sounding positive even though the decline has somewhat continued. Alex Krüger measured the current opinion on Bitcoin in a tweet this weekend based on 4 different scenarios. So Alex Krüger tweeted about 4 long-term Bitcoin scenarios. One is Bitcoin becomes a global reserve currency. Current hodlers, all proven to be early, get immensely rich. Scenario 2 is scarcity keeps price going up forever. Bitcoin continues to outperform. Investors do extraordinarily well. Third scenario, he says that after a few more epic runs, Bitcoin eventually matures and settles into a wide range, like most commodities do in real terms. Bitcoin maxes turn into gold bugs 2.0. Scenario 4, Bitcoin dumps into oblivion, people keep on buying the dip, Bitcoiners get wrecked. So which one is more likely? And people have voted for the scenario 3, that it settles into a range. And then he continues, settle into a wide range. For those voting scenario 3, time for some crystal balling. Where do you see Bitcoin most likely settling in? So most of the people, over 45%, believe that it will settle in to $100,000. And this poll has more than 3,600 votes. So on this question, 45% think that Bitcoin settling into a range above $100,000 is possible. However, they think it will take a few years to get there. So what can we take from this? Doesn't it sound like the wind is blowing in another direction? Of course, different voices will be louder during different episodes of time, but when it comes to Bitcoin, the voices are many and all of them are loud, really loud. So make sure you trust who you listen to. This is not what today's episode is about, believe it or not. Today we are going to talk about if Google will be the death of Bitcoin. Do you guys know who Billy Bambro is? If you don't, he writes for Forbes magazine and is their expert writer on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. A while back, he wrote this article about Google and a supercomputer they had built. Here is a quick update. Google released the news a while back about a quantum computer they had built, which would be able to solve formerly impossible mathematical calculations. That of course set the Bitcoin community off. As we all know, Bitcoin rely on very complex mathematical problems. The fundamentals create the basis of the entire internet and digital communication trust. So no wonder people went into panic mode. In this article, Billy writes that Google's quantum supremacy could mean it is able to perform in 200 seconds what would take a powerful computer 10,000 years, and potentially mean Bitcoin and the encryption that underpins it could be broken. So because Google has a super strong computer, the encryption that underpins it could be broken if that quantum computer is used. However, it seemed like this might not happen anyways, because according to Dragos Ely, quantum computing and encryption researcher at Imperial College London, Google's supercomputer doesn't have enough qubits. Google's supercomputer currently has 53 qubits. In order to have any effect on Bitcoin or most other financial system, it would take at least about 1,500 qubits, and the system must allow for the entanglement of all them. So what does a qubit mean? According to Wikipedia, a qubit or a quantum bit, sometimes qubit, is the basic unit of quantum information. the quantum version of the classical binary bit physically realized with a two-state device. A qubit is two-state or two-level quantum mechanical system, one of the simplest quantum systems displaying the peculiarity of quantum mechanics. It even sounds like Charles Hayter, chief executive of and cryptocurrency data website CryptoCompare, told Forbes that cryptocurrencies will weather the information storm. And he said, cryptocurrencies can be updated with quantum resistant tech. This is just a continuation of the age-old arms race between crackers and enciphers. So why am I bringing this up? Well, because it is relevant for the latest news on this topic. We all thought that we could relax because it turned out Google couldn't kill Bitcoin. But wait, can they? In another article by Billy, he brings up a new tweet heading Bitcoins away from Google. And Billy is saying that meanwhile the Bitcoin price has climbed this year, largely due to interest in Bitcoin and crypto from the world's biggest technology companies, with others including the likes of iPhone maker Apple and online retailer Amazon, branching out into a traditional financial services. Now, Google, in partnership with US banking giant Citigroup, has said it's planning to launch its own fully fledged smart checking bank accounts via Google Pay, piling pressure on Bitcoin developers to improve user experience and adoption or face redundancy. He then continues to say that Bitcoin has been struggling lately, stating that they have a hard time attracting new users and foremost retail acceptance, with price speculation still being the biggest driver of the Bitcoin interest. And he says that despite public concerns around data privacy, digital security, and the power of tech giants, users have failed to abandon their services. Google's superior digital money service could be a greater threat to Bitcoin than its quantum supremacy. So that's harsh news for Bitcoin, to say the least. Whether or not Google's money service will be a real threat to Bitcoin seems to be debated tough. Not everyone agrees that Google will outcompete Bitcoin. Cryptobuzzr published an article today disagreeing with Billy. They mean that the distrust of tech giants are at an all-time high. And because of that, Google won't be a threat to Bitcoin. And here we can read more about that. So they are saying that no threat to Bitcoin. It is for that reason that there is no such thing as menace to Bitcoin in any way. If something, Google's delving into banking will strengthen the narrative and want for a decentralized world foreign money. Forbes, as standard, has been banking up the unsuitable digital tree, claiming that Google financial institution accounts might be an even bigger menace than quantum computing. However, nothing might be farther from the reality. Bitcoin continues to function in a completely different sphere of finance than conventional banking. To not point out its extremely unlikely buyers within the main cryptocurrency will need to pile out of the asset and transfer funds into a brand new Google checkings account. This is a clear dig at Billy and what he wrote in the Forbes article. And what do you think? Is Bitcoin in danger because of Google, or can more traditional services and tech giants never outcompete Bitcoin just because of who they are? Has Forbes and Billy misunderstood the whole point of Bitcoin, or are they right? So what do you think? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like this video, comment what you think, and subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day.